Good morning, everybody. This is Anthony Campo coming at you with the Daily Battle series, a part of the Be Battle Ready podcast. And today I want to talk to you about changing your vantage point doesn't mean you change your perspective. Okay, here's what I mean by this. So, on a daily basis, I come down to this lake, as if you follow me on Instagram and other videos, other platforms, and what I talked about yesterday, I come down to the lake inside our community. I come down here to meditate, to journal, to share appreciation for my family members, and then to do these either Instagram Live, or now I've started these daily voice recordings. So, as I was walking up, I usually sit either on the dock, or the dock's been having a lot of mosquitoes and stuff like that, so it hasn't been the most ideal place. So I went and sat on the walking path. But today, I was walking up and I looked to my left, and as I was walking up, there's these 3 terraces of grass. And I was like, you know what? That looks like a great place to sit here today. And as I was walking there, I was like, I just want to change my vantage point and to see this lake, to see this spot from a different vantage point. And, that got me thinking that just changing your vantage point, right, doesn't mean you have to change your perspective. So a lot of people talk and say, hey, you should see it from other people's perspectives. I would like to shift that word from their vantage point, because I think too many people think that if we go and we look at it from somebody else's perspective or vantage point, we have to change ours. And I know that I've experienced myself being resistant to this, as, pushing back. I don't want to see it. I know what I'm talking about. There's been times I've done that, and I've experienced other people doing the same. And in that place, just because if we change the way we see what we're being asked to do, as just saying, hey, I reside on this peak, you reside on that peak. If you just come over to my peak and just check out the view from here, doesn't mean that you have to completely abandon your peak. You just get to see my vantage point and what I see and what creates my perspective. And, as I'm talking now, realizing our vantage points create our perspectives. Okay? So what's the benefit in doing this for you? The benefit for you is to, give yourself a broader range of view, right? Experience something different. Right? Now you could be an authority to say, well, I sit on my vantage point and I have my perspective. Now, if I went over to my friend's vantage point and saw his perspective. And now I have more authority to compare and contrast both perspectives and both vantage points. So I think in our journey, in our quest in life, is, to experience these vantage points as much as possible, so that we can have authority in what our perspective is, because we reside in our vantage point, and it either strengthens or weakens our perspective. And our vantage point actually, if I go back a couple of sentences and say our vantage point, the more vantage point we can see, the more things that we can see, it actually strengthens our perspective. It gives us more authority in what we're talking about, in what we're about, in what we're on our quest to do. So I want to challenge you today. Let's back up real quick. What if you didn't? What's the cost? What's the cost if you are not able to see? If you resist that vantage point, or resist seeing other people's vantage points, so that you could strengthen your perspective. So our perspective, will only grow as that. And what if you don't do that? What will happen? Like, what are consequences for not doing that? So I want to challenge you today is to look internally and ask yourself, where am I being resistant to seeing different vantage points so that I can understand other perspectives? So, and what I want you to do today is, what can you do today to go ahead and go see another vantage point? So I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for anytime you patronage my thoughts. And if you got something from this, go ahead and share it with somebody. Give me a rating. It's the first time I've ever asked for that, but yeah, that'd be great. And we'll see you next time.